couple days at least.
I got
Except for today, I don't have any lessons today, which is the first.
Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Good to see everyone.
Couple more people trying to get on.
I sent you a Facebook message to Amy with the information copied and pasted with the ID. See if that'd be easier.
Okay.
So what is the issue with them getting on?
I usually send the link and then people can just tap it and go on, but I don't know.
See, we're trying to get it to where they have to put the meeting ID and the password in so that there's no hackers that can get in.
But if you copy it, you should still be able to just touch it and go in. Here comes somebody else, Mindy.
I have two girls around. Carla is here. And
Hi.
Hello. I may come up as Justin, so don't mind me. I'm just going to pretend to be
Her
Justin.
name is Carla.
I see a Sam and a Kevin and an
Sam
iPhone.
is Samantha, so Sam told her.
And Kevin is really Mindy.
Okay.
Well, alternate identity.
So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I know we have a couple more that are going to hop on. So what I'm going to do is just start with introductions. So Mariah, is that right? Maria, if you'll introduce yourself and just say who you're on for tonight. Who's your consultant?
Yeah, so I'm Maria, and I'm with Amy Miller.
Awesome. What do you do?
Saves my life all day long.
I'm her personal assistant / school secretary.
Jackie,
But
bring
I'm a
your
music
video.
teacher.
Yeah, I am a secretary and a grandma this week and a mom.
Okay, and who's talking?
Jackie.
Jackie,
it's at
can
the
you put your
bottom.
video on?
Yeah, I just
it's
don't have a
on.
name. It just says iPhone.
It just
Yeah.
says iPhone.
Wait, Jillian's gonna fix it for me. Hang on.
I love it. I'm the same way with this technology. Okay, we're gonna come back to you. Oh, she's got it.
Okay, now I'm on.
Hi.
How are you?
Tell me your first name.
Jackie.
Jackie. All right. And
You
you were
actually
also
met Jackie at my house one time.
Uh-huh.
awesome. And you work at the school?
Me? No. I am a grandma here. And then my daughter is home from college. And then I have my own business. My husband, we have 3 landfills in California, and I'm the secretary.
Wow. Okay, see, I heard secretary part. Got you.
Landfill, trash,
Yes.
garbage.
In California, there's a lot of trash in California.
Yes, there is.
My daughter lives there. I can say that, but it's a dirty city they're in. Okay, we also have, I know your name's not Justin. Tell us who you are.
I'm Carla.
Carla.
Yes.
She's
Okay.
here with me.
Yes, I'm here with Whitney.
Awesome.
She's like down there somewhere.
Awesome. And what do you do, Carla?
I don't know what I am. So I am a stay-at-home wife, I guess you would call me. My husband and I are starting a church. Actually just started a church as of yesterday. This was our first live service. So I guess I'm a pastor's wife.
Yes.
Well, I not guess. I am a pastor's wife. So
It's all new.
And where did you guys start a church?
the Lions, Colorado.
Okay. Wow.
Well,
and
we
so
haven't
you're
really, it's virtual really is our first online virtual service because of this pandemic that's going around.
right. Right. Well, we're glad to have you on tonight. And then we have Sam. Sam, tell us who asked you to be on with us tonight.
Whitney did.
Yay.
So you have her to blame for all of this. Tell us what you do, Sam.
I am a case manager for the Children's Home Society for their adoption support team.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Sam has a huge heart.
And is that here local in Pensacola?
Yes, our office is actually on Halifax Street,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just the one here for like the Western County. There's several Children's Home Societies within Florida.
Right. Awesome. Well, appreciate what you do. Welcome. And then we have Kevin.
Who's actually Mindy.
I know, I was kidding. Mindy, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes. Can you introduce yourself?
Mindy Callahan in Pennsylvania.
Yay.
Okay. What do you do in Pennsylvania?
I have been off for 7 weeks already. I am a school bus driver and not going back till probably September.
Okay. Got you. Where in Pennsylvania are you, Mindy?
I am actually halfway between Harrisburg, Pennsylvania and Baltimore, Maryland. So it's right over the line, Shrewsbury, if anybody knows where that is, or York, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
She's from my hometown.
Oh, okay. I was going to say my best friend lives in, where does she live? She lives in Sire, S-A-Y-R-E.
Signal. I haven't heard of it.
Okay, it's close to, she lives on the line close to New York. So she actually teaches in Elmira, New York. She's a speech pathologist, but she lives in Sire, Pennsylvania. So really, really cool. But
Yeah,
beautiful area. I think Pennsylvania is beautiful, but I only go up there like in the fall when I go. So, okay, do we have any other guests on that I may have missed? Okay, well, I am so thankful all of you are on tonight. I'm going to be short and sweet. My name is Nancy, and I'm from all over the place, but I've lived in Pensacola, Florida since 2015. Prior to that, I lived in Milton, Florida from 2001 until 2015. And before that, I was in North Carolina. And before that, I was in Louisiana. So, and my dad was like in the Army. So I was kind of an Army brat, and we went all kinds of places before that. So, you know, but you can't just say I'm from here unless you were like born and raised there and lived, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys know what I mean. But I'm excited to share with you guys tonight, and I want the consultants to just introduce themselves really quickly. I'm going to have them say, you know, how long they've been in Mary Kay and what else they do, because you'll find that there's a lot of different personality styles and a lot of different people that do Mary Kay. And then I'm just going to share some facts with you and a little bit about my story tonight, and that's it. And at the end, you guys, I'm doing a drawing for $50 in free product. So all of you have an opportunity. You've got a chance of 1 in 5 to win $50 in free Mary Kay from your consultant and me tonight. So I'm going to start with Whitney. If you'll introduce yourself and say what else you do other than Mary Kay and how long you've been in.
Okay, I'm Whitney, and I actually had my second Mary Kay anniversary on May 7th, so just over 2 years. And I actually just do Mary Kay full-time, but I was a full-time English teacher. So I worked full hours, and then Mary Kay was my side gig. And at the end of this past school year, I decided I want to do this full-time, and now that's what I get to do, and I love it.
Yay! Okay, Nicole.
Okay, I'm Nicole. I've been a Mary Kay consultant going on 2 years now, and I'm also a full-time pharmacist.
Awesome. Amy.
July will be 2 years. Whitney started 2 years ago, and then my first time I went to a party was the party she did. And then I joined a few months later, and I have absolutely loved it. And I am a pastor's wife and a Christian school administrator.
Awesome. And Hannah.
I have been building my Mary Kay business for going on 2 years. And I am currently in, I don't even know what my title is anymore, guys. It's really sad. It's in limbo. I'm somewhere between accounting assistant and accounting specialist / special events coordinator. I don't really know what I am, guys. Just am.
Okay, so I'm just gonna share with you a couple of facts really quickly. Did you guys know that 40% of Americans have a side hustle for fun? Other reasons people do a side hustle is because it's flexible, so they can work it around their schedule. There's security because, you know, if you do a party, you can make some money. So there's kind of security in that. Like if you get an extra bill or something comes up and you want to save for, you can use that side hustle to get that extra cash. So yes, the extra cash flow is another reason people do a side hustle, and having a plan B, just having an option of something else. In the next 5 years, right now, 40% of people have it, but in the next 5 years, 79% of Americans will have a side hustle. Like that blew my mind. That's a huge number, 79%. And I think that's interesting. And, you know, you may be on here tonight just because you love your consultant and you might be thinking, you know what, this is great, but I'm never in a million years going to do Mary Kay. And that's totally fine. I appreciate you guys' time today because I realize time is the only thing you can't get back. But I do appreciate you guys being on here. And if you hear something that, you know, sparks your interest or changes your mind, or you want more information, we can talk about that at the end, or you can follow up with your consultant. But I just want you to know that I just want to share from my heart tonight some facts with you and the opportunity itself and a little bit about my story, and then you can decide what you want to do with it. But the reason I said that is because these people who have a side hustle, they're not all in Mary Kay Cosmetics. There's people who do Norwex, and there's people who do Pampered Chef, and people who do Plexus and Tupperware and all these other things, right? So it's neat, I think, that we have different things for different people. So Mary Kay may not be for you, and that's totally fine. We're going to love you anyway. And I appreciate you being on tonight. So deal?
Deal.
Okay. So when I started Mary Kay, it was 25 years ago. And so I started when I was 4. And okay, thank you, Jackie. Yeah, okay, so I wasn't 4, but you do have to be 18 to start, and I was over 18 too. I've been in Mary Kay for 25 years, and when I started, I was teaching school full time. We had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and teachers get paid once a week. So we would get paid on the 15th, and then we'd pay all the bills, and then we didn't have anything left until we got paid again, you know, the next month, 30 days later. And so we were just broke. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. We were very tight on money. And so I thought it would be so great to have something where I could make extra cash for the family. And that is what really appealed to me about Mary Kay. In all honesty, I didn't know anything about skincare. I was the girl that washed my face with like the soft soap by the sink. I used alcohol swabs to get my mascara off. Don't even ask me how that works because I don't think it does. But I was horrible. And then, you know, if I was going, I wasn't a big makeup person either. So if I was going somewhere, going to dinner or going to church or whatever, I would do brown eyeshadow and brown lipstick because it matched. So I was not the typical, like, I don't know why they picked me. So I was the least likely person to do it, but I was intrigued by the income potential. And my first goal was just to make $50 a week because I knew that would take the financial stress off of my husband and I. But it was a busy time for us. I mean, we had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. God has a wonderful sense of humor, doesn't he? So 3 weeks after I became a beauty consultant, I found that I was expecting. And so that was fun. So I got to start my business and go through a pregnancy all at the same time. And we were just really busy. It was just a really busy time. But I was excited about my teaching. I loved being a teacher. I loved being in the classroom. I loved the aha moment that kids got when they finally caught on to a concept. Like, I really liked that. And I was good at what I did. I enjoyed it. And I want to tell you that because I hear so many times people think, oh, I'm happy with my job. Why would I want to do blah, blah, blah? And it's not that everybody's miserable with their jobs and they just want to do something else. Sometimes it's just an extra thing. Maybe it's choices or girlfriends or even just a place to belong. So I just wanted to share that with you. But when my son turned, I think he was 4 and he was in kindergarten, he got strep throat. And I stayed home with him for 3 days. Anybody have kids? Anybody have kids out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
Yeah, I know you're a grandma. You have to have kids.
I have
Okay,
2 birds. They're kind
So
of like kids.
when you have children and your children are sick, you stay home with your child, if at all possible. So between my husband and myself, I was the one that stayed home with our son, and he was home for about 3 days with high fever, sore throat, couldn't swallow. When we went back to school on that 4th day, I got called into the principal's office, and I was told that committed teachers are never absent. So we had a conversation, and I did tell her that committed mom would be what I would pick every time over committed teacher. And she really didn't love that at all. And she actually made my life really miserable after that, but it just really upset me. And I thought, God did not bless me with children so someone else could take care of them when they're sick and they need them. And so at that point, I started thinking about Mary Kay more seriously. And around the same time, our oldest was in middle school. He was about to start 7th grade. And I did not like the idea of my children being in middle school, getting out of school before I was home. I just didn't love that whole idea. And so I started thinking more that I wanted to be home. And in Mary Kay, our philosophies are we put God first and the family comes second, and then our career is third. And that's not what I was feeling from the public school system at all. So, and I'm not putting public education down. My husband is still a teacher, but he gets in trouble, you guys, if he says, God bless you when someone sneezes. And I just think that's ridiculous. Yeah. So, I decided I wanted to be home. So it was May. It was the end of my my son's kindergarten year, 1st grade year, somewhere around there. And it was the end of his kindergarten year. And I decided I wanted to be home. So it was May of that school year. And I started doing Mary Kay. I started doing several parties. And my husband said, just play around with it through the summer. You'll be off for the summer. Who said they drove a school bus? Somebody on here.
Mindy.
Was it Mindy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you have your summers off. He said, just play around with it in the summer. So I said, okay, I'm just going to kind of play with it. Well, by July, I was on target for my car. And by January, the end of January, I was a sales director. So I went ahead and I finished my school year. And that was my son's 1st grade year. And when that year finished, I resigned from teaching and I just stayed home. So I've been home ever since 2003 with my kids. And I think that's been a blessing. Now, some people may not think that's a blessing, but it was, what are we, you said you didn't know what to call yourself. Domestic goddess. How about that? Stay at home, right? But it was really great to be able to have the opportunity to stay home. And then not only that, you become like the 5 people you hang with the most. And I think the people in the teacher's lounge were always complaining about something or bickering back and forth about a parent or administration or something. And I knew that when I left the lounge, they would talk bad about me too. Has anybody ever felt that way in a workplace? And so I just always watched what I said and tried to, be neutral. But I love that with Mary Kay, we have such a positive, we call it the pink bubble, because it's such a positive, encouraging culture. And we do encourage one another. We don't compete against each other, so we can truly love and cheer each other on instead of feeling like we've got to, I've got to beat her so I can get this, So I think that that's exciting that we're in a place where we can put God first and then help other people as well. And it comes back to us. But, in Mary Kay, one of the things that I love is that it brings out the best version of you. Like you become your best self by being a part of this company, because the professional development, which most is free, the training is phenomenal. And we learn things like time management, money management, emotional management. I mean, things that aren't just geared towards cosmetics. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, so why would you want to do Mary Kay right now? Well, here's some things. Alcohol, tobacco, and cosmetics never lose money in a downturn economy. So right now, our sales and our customers are loving us. Sephora and Ulta are closed, and everyone is calling their Mary Kay consultant to get their cleanser and their mascara and whatever else they need, their lipstick or their mask, right? So we have not seen a dip in sales at all. In fact, we've seen an increase. Several of our products have almost sold out when we debut products because there's such a demand. And so I think that that's really great. And, you know, you can figure out on your own why alcohol and tobacco never lose money. Okay. But I love that cosmetics and skincare don't. People are experiencing right now a taste of what my life's like every day. And it's been like since 2003. I love to work from home. So I'm used to this, but I'm not used to everybody working at home. Let me say that a little quieter, because my husband is teaching from home. Okay. I'm with Mindy. I can't wait for school to start in the fall. So, but you know what? It's really kind of a different thought to be in control of your own time. You do have to be disciplined to work. I'm sure that, you know, you guys understand that. Like Jackie, she runs a business. She's a secretary of the landfill. My goodness, like that's probably a lot of work. So she's a disciplined person. I know that already, because you have to be if you're going to stay at home and you're going to take care of these other things. And so what I love about it though is it may be like right now it's like Zoom calls and like little meetings like this where we can see each other face to face. Thank goodness. But you get family time. And you get choices. You can decide when you want to work or when you want to play with your family or take the day off or when you want to go for a walk or a hike. Like Amy likes to hike, so she gets to decide when she wants to do that. And there's something really cool about having that flexibility when you're your own boss. All of our Mary Kay products are manufactured in the United States, you guys. And I think that's huge. So, you know, we definitely want to support that. And right now, the supply and demand pendulum is perfect. It is swinging our way. And the government, in fact, asked Mary Kay to make hand sanitizers for the first responders and nurses and doctors who are on the front lines. So while Mary Kay was shut down because it was deemed non-essential, they reopened. They asked Mary Kay to open so that we could manufacture hand sanitizers. And I think that's phenomenal just to have that honor. But I also want you to know that our company has a heart. And I think that's just one of the things that Mary Kay does to give back. They've donated over $10 million during this COVID-19 pandemic. And I don't know if any of you saw, it was going around Facebook, the Jimmy Kimmel show. They had 2 nurses who were from Arkansas who traveled to New York City to help during this time. And Mary Kay donated to each one of those nurses $10,000 just so that they could spend it however they wanted. Like, wow. I mean, I just think I'm so honored to be a part of this company. We also do things like build homes for Habitat for Humanity. We have a charitable foundation that funds research for cancers that affect women and domestic violence against women. So we help to fund shelters and keep those open. And unfortunately, right now, during this shelter in place time, there's been more abuse than before because people are stuck at home with each other, you know, and if you're in that situation, there's nowhere to go. So I love that Mary Kay does a lot to give back. And if there's one thing that I want you to leave with tonight, it's knowing that Mary Kay has a heart. The company really does want to give back and help women. And I think if you do that and you put God first, everything else is going to fall into place anyway. Do you agree? So you might have more time right now than you would if things were like they were back in February. A lot of people are home, and I don't know what your situation is, whether you've been furloughed or you're still making money and working from home. I don't know, but I know a lot more people have time now than they did before. And even if you don't, it's so flexible that we can show you how to fit it into what you already do have going on, because you only have to work Mary Kay in pockets of time. So it may be 15 minutes a day. It may be an hour once a week, but you can be successful with just that limited amount of time. And even for me, when I was teaching school, I only did 2 parties a week, and I would do, that's about 2 to 3 hours of my time. And I was able to replace my teaching income on 2 parties a week. So it doesn't take like a long time. And right now we're working virtually. So, you know, you might have a friend that lives in Pennsylvania. Yay. And she might have a daughter that lives in South Dakota, and she might have a best friend that lives in Louisiana. And then you have all 3 of those people as new customers, because it doesn't have to be local to you. It can be anywhere in the United States. So we have this huge playing field right now. So that's another reason to consider possibly doing it. If you know a lot of people, even if they're not local to you, you could have a great diverse customer base. So Why would you not want to do Mary Kay? So I thought of some reasons why you might say this isn't for you. Sometimes, and I want to tell you this too, usually Mary Kay costs $100 and we get a starter kit. It's got a bag. It's got $500 in product in it that we can use to demo and show people, but we're not meeting face to face right now. So you really don't need that, do you? You can still get it if you want to, but Mary Kay is so smart and they gave us what they call an e-start. And so new consultants can sign up through May 31st for $30. Like, that just blows my mind because I paid $100 when I started 25 years ago and my kit was not cute and I didn't get all that stuff in it. So I think the $30 e-start is amazing. And with that $30, you get a free personal website with Mary Kay. You also get the ability to process credit cards for a year for free too. So that's really, really exciting. And that's another $70 value that you would get. So you do have lots of options. You could do whatever you wanted to, but with that $30, you guys, you could be on your way to making money. And I know, like, I can't take $100 to my investment guy and have him double it and give me $200 back. And if it doesn't work out, send it back and get $90 back. But in Mary Kay, there's a buyback on any inventory. So if you don't have to get inventory, but if you chose to get products to sell, which I would recommend because it's easier to sell something if you have something. Does that make sense? You know?
Right.
But Mary Kay guarantees it, you guys, 90 cents to every dollar. So they kind of take the fear out of it. So if Mindy said, you know what, I want to give this a shot, and I'm going to order some products, and she changes her mind and goes, what was I thinking? I do not want to do this Mary Kay thing. She can send that product back to the company and they will give her a check for 90 cents to every dollar. And I think that's awesome. So it takes the risk out of it. And if you decided you really didn't want to do it and you sent it back, you would know that at least you tried and you would know that it was not for you. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's great. Maybe you think you might be too busy, and I don't know if anybody feels like that right now, that you're too busy and you wouldn't know how to fit it in. But I know I've already talked about the pockets of time, and we really do teach you that, how you can do it really in a limited amount of time. Our parties are 30 minutes to an hour right now, and raise your hand if you've made $100 on a virtual party that's been an hour or less. Yeah, keep your hand raised if you've made 200, 300, 400. That's awesome. In 30 minutes to an hour sitting on Facebook or whatever. Like, that's so, so easy. And it's fun too. It's fun to connect. So I think that's neat. And money, the $100 starter kit, like I said, you could start with $100 and still get the whole kit. You could start with the $130 and get the kit and the e-start, which gives you the free website and the free ability to process cards. Or you could just do the $30 e-start and just get started making some fun extra cash. So here's another thing. I didn't know a lot of people, and I thought I'd never sold anything. I wasn't familiar with the products, and I didn't know anyone. But if you don't know anyone, this is a great way to meet some people and to meet some new friends. But everybody knows somebody. I mean, whether it's a best friend, a mom, a cousin, an aunt, grandma, somebody that you could say, hey, if you could get a couple people together for me, I would gift you something free, and you could start building your business like that. That is what I did. I found someone who's actually from Milton. So she was born and raised in Milton, and I was not, and she knew everyone. You know, the kind of person who knows everybody's mama and everybody's grandma and what house they grew up in and where they went to church and where they got married. She knew everybody in town. So I asked her name was Amy, and I said, Amy, if you'll get a few people together for me, I'll gift you in a free product. And she said, sure. So she got 3 or 4 people together. And then I said the same thing to those ladies. And one of them said, oh, I'll help. So I went to her house the next week, and she had 2 people come, and they both said they would help me. So I got to meet her friends and her friends, and it just kind of dominoed out from there. Does that make sense? So you don't feel like, if you don't know a lot of people, it's okay, because there's a lot of women with skin that need hair and makeup. Yeah, if they don't have skin, run. So don't worry if you don't know anyone. We'll teach you how to develop customers. And then if you're not the sales type, I was not the sales type either. I'd never sold anything. I didn't want to be one of those pushy people like, oh, you have to get this or you need to do this. Like, I didn't want to be sales pitchy. And so, but what I learned is if you're excited about the product, like good customers that love the product, you can get all your products at half price. And so just it's kind of like when you go to the store and they have a sale and you call your bestie and you say, oh my gosh, they have buy one, get one, or, it's 50% off right now. I'm not the only one that does that, right? Call my friend and say, oh, their shoes are on sale or whatever. So it's just that same excitement and having that excitement about the product or the opportunity, and then we just share it. So in a way, I still feel like I'm teaching. I'm just not teaching students anymore. I'm teaching women about skincare or how to apply cosmetics, which, good Lord, I knew nothing about in the beginning. Or, even just sharing the opportunity in a way that they could make extra cash for their family. So don't worry if you're not the sales type. I would rather have you not be the sales type than feel like you could sell anything, because we don't want to be like aggressive. We want to attract people to us with our product and our sincerity. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then just to close with you, remember, I just wanted $50 a week. But just to close with you tonight, I don't know how to post anything here where you can see it, but there is an eStart flyer. And so I'm just going to encourage the consultants, if you have guests on here, to text them the flyer so they can see. And then we'll just follow up with each of you and see, what you think, if you want more information. If you want to stay a happy customer, that's totally okay too. We love our customers and we're going to take great care of you. But if you want more information or you have questions about something, let us know. I want to answer two main questions right now before we get off. One is there a quota? The answer is no. The only requirement is that you place one order once a year to be a consultant. And that order has to be $225. So $225 once a year. So you could sign up today and not order until next May, and you would still be a Mary Kay consultant. It just is crazy. But if you do a party, you're going to make that money easily in like a couple of hours. So that's fun too for one order once a year. So I really don't feel like that's a quota, but no one's going to harp at you to sell 40 lipsticks if you don't want to, or ask you to do 1 million parties. This is something you get to do at your own pace because it's your business. So I wanted to share that with you. And then the other question that we get a lot of is, how much do you have to order? Like, how much inventory do you have to start with? And so I want to tell you that inventory is not mandatory, but there are several different options. And if you choose to become a consultant, we'll share all of the options with you. It starts at $225 and goes all the way up from there. And there's bonuses and freebies and things that you get too. So once you become a consultant, we'll share all that with you. And if you don't want to order anything, you don't have to. If you want to start big, you can. If you want to start small, we really don't care where you start, as long as you get started and have fun. And I think that's the main thing. So, so I hope that you feel encouraged and maybe know a little bit more about Mary Kay that you knew or didn't know before. And I'm going to go ahead and close this and let our consultants follow up. So let me do am I missing somebody? I see another Hannah on the bottom. So who do we have here?
Mindy.
And then beside Mindy,
Hannah Cook, are you on here twice?
No, I'm not. This is actually Hannah Coomer, which is one of my best friends from high school.
Okay, let me add her. I'm going to do the drawing real quick to see who wins our $50 in free products. Are you guys ready? I'm going to use random number generator on my phone.
Cool.
Who wants to win $50 in Mary Kay?
Me.
Mindy.
Yay! Okay, here we go. Let's see who it will be. Okay, suspense.
My coffee's empty.
And the winner is number 2. I don't know if you guys can see that. Number 2 is Jackie. Woo! Yay! Jackie, you won. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations.
I'm gonna buy with it.
That's awesome. I hope you guys had fun tonight. Thanks for spending your time with us. And your consultants will be following up with you. Please send them that eStart too, just so that you guys can see. Does anybody have any questions before we get off? Maybe something I didn't answer? Awesome. Okay, thanks you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for coming.